Hi there, and welcome to the Breastfeeding Promotion section of Health Bites. In this section, you'll learn about why breastfeeding is the best thing you can do for your baby. You'll hear all about the benefits to you, to your baby, and to the entire family. And you'll even learn about the many resources available to you as a new or soon-to-be breastfeeding mom. Have fun!
Welcome to Margret Getty Tonight. I'm your host, Margret Getty. In tonight's show, we're talking breastfeeding, something all mothers and prospective mothers need to know about. If you'd like to join in the conversation, give us a call at 1-800-555-1010. Did you know that breastfeeding is the best thing you can do for your baby? Joining us to talk about this is WIC Breastfeeding Peer Counselor, Danielle Manning. Come on now, Danielle. Thanks for joining us.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Now, before we dive into all this information about breastfeeding, I have to ask, and I've been wondering since our producers told me you'd be on the show, what exactly is a WIC Breastfeeding Peer Counselor? What do you do?
That's a great question. A breastfeeding peer counselor is a woman who has successfully breastfed for at least 6 months and who has received WIC benefits. We've each completed a breastfeeding training course. We share a lot of great information, and we provide support to moms before and after their baby is born.
That sounds great.
It is a really great resource for breastfeeding moms and women who are thinking about breastfeeding.
So I guess the big question is, why breastfeed? I mean, formula seems like a good choice, right?
Actually, no, formula isn't that good of a choice. You know, formula makers try real hard to get as close to breast milk as possible, but it doesn't have some of the important qualities that breast milk does, like antibodies that fight off sickness and keep your baby healthy, and essential nutrients made just for your baby.
Well, breastfeeding seems like the best option for the baby, but what about for the mother?
It's not just the best option, it's the normal and natural option, and breastfeeding is just as good for the mother. For one, she gets to sleep more. There are no bottles to prepare and warm in the middle of the night, and no formula to mix, and no bottle nipples to clean and sterilize. Breast milk is warm and ready at a moment's notice, which means the mother gets back to sleep that much more quickly. And the same is true when you go shopping or to visit family. There are no bottles to carry, and no looking for warm running water while your baby cries in hunger.
Well, I certainly understand how important sleep is to a new mother and how embarrassing it can be when you're out in public and the baby just cries and cries. Everyone stares at you. It's awful.
Yes, but that's not all. There are some great health benefits to the breastfeeding mother, too. Breastfeeding helps to burn extra calories, it helps shrink the uterus back to its original size, and it reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes, osteoporosis, and breast and ovarian cancers. But you know my favorite part?
What's that?
It's the crazy sense of self-confidence a woman feels because she's doing something so great for her baby, something that's offering a feeling of closeness and bonding. It's wonderful.
Sounds like it, Danielle. I believe we have our first caller on the line. Dave, hello. You're on with Margret Getty and Breastfeeding Peer Counselor Danielle Manning.
Hi, Dave.
Hi there. I had a question about breastfeeding, actually. My wife is just a few months pregnant.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And anyway, she really wants to formula feed because she says she doesn't think she'll be able to breastfeed. She thinks her breasts are too small, you know? I read a while ago that it doesn't matter what size the breasts are, and I just think breastfeeding is the best thing for our baby, not formula. You know what I mean? So I guess I'm asking what I should tell her.
Thanks for the question, Dave. Danielle?
Yeah, wow, thank you, Dave. And you're actually right on both matters. And I'm impressed you've done some research on your own to figure it out. I bet your wife appreciates the fact that her husband is learning so much and is so excited. But anyway, yes, your wife can breastfeed no matter what size her breasts are. Size doesn't matter when it comes to producing milk. And breastfeeding is the best thing that your wife can do for your baby.
Dave, I have to ask, have you and your wife picked out any names at all yet?
Well, yeah, if it's a boy, we're thinking Robert or Paul, and if it's a girl, she likes Rose, and I like Madeline.
I think those are all wonderful.
And Dave, I have to add that as a family, it's in your best interest as well. Formula can be really expensive. It can all add up. In fact, mothers who don't receive WIC support can save between $1,000 and $4,000 each year just by breastfeeding.
And what if a mother does have WIC support?
If a formula-feeding mother does have WIC support, she may need to buy additional formula as the baby gets older. Or, if it's specialty formula, the WIC formula allowance might not cover it, and the family would have to pay out of pocket. That makes it harder to pay bills and cover expenses they might need. And Dave, one more thing. Just because your wife is breastfeeding doesn't mean you can't be involved. You know that, right? You could, for instance, feed your baby expressed breast milk.
Right, yeah, we've already talked about it. I'm going to help out by giving baths and changing diapers and hopefully feeding expressed breast milk, like you said. Stuff like that.
Wow, I'm impressed, Dave. Thanks for calling.
Good luck, Dave.
We have to take a break, but we'll be right back.
Mom! I'm hungry! Oh, hey, sorry about that. I was just looking for my mom. I'm hungry. Need some refreshments from the mobile milk bar. You probably call it breastfeeding. Not as cool. Anyway, breastfeeding is pretty awesome. I would know. I'm the real expert. My mom keeps saying things like it's the best and most complete form of nutrition for me, and that it's easier to digest, and that it won't cause stomach problems or milk allergies. I don't know what that means. I'm just a baby. But breast milk is so yummy, and it's great for me. My dad likes steak. He says that's yummy, but it looks gross to me. I bet it tastes like diapers. Breast milk is so much better. Mobile milk bar all the way. And this buddy of mine, Brian, he gets formula. Poor kid. We were talking about it the other day while we were doing this. He was trying to tell me that formula tastes the same. I don't believe him. Is his formula tailor-made just for him? I don't think so. My mom's breast milk is, well, for me. Formula? No way. I'd rather eat my own diaper. Just kidding. I'd never eat my own diaper. But I'd definitely rather breastfeed. Brian doesn't know what he's missing. Cute, right? Yeah, I know. You know what else is cute? My skin. Breastfeeding keeps my skin healthy. It's so smooth. But if you think this is smooth, you should see my... Never mind. You're probably wondering how healthy I am, right? Well, I'm super healthy. I get antibodies. Those are like germ-fighting soldiers that keep me from getting sick as often as other babies. I'm a baby, and I just said antibodies. How impressed are you right now? We babies learn real fast, and breastfeeding also means I have a lower risk of being overweight and getting diabetes when I get older. Admit it, you're impressed. I'm so smart and so hungry. Mom! Finally, lunchtime, here I come.
Welcome back to Margret Getty tonight. Our guest this evening is WIC Breastfeeding Peer Counselor Danielle Manning. If you'd like to join our conversation or ask Danielle a question live on the air, give us a call at 1-800-555-1010. And I believe we have another caller. Grace, hello. Thanks for calling Margret Getty tonight.
Hi, yes, thank you. My question deals with babies getting sick. You know, babies get sick quite often as infants, and my daughter and son-in-law are thinking about having a baby. I remember when my daughter was born, she was formula fed, and we had to go to the doctor quite often. If my daughter decides to breastfeed, do they still get sick that much? I just don't know, and I was hoping you could help.
Thanks, Grace. So, Danielle, do breastfed babies get sick as often as formula-fed babies?
That's another great question. Thanks for calling, Grace. The truth is, breastfed babies don't get sick nearly as often as formula-fed babies. There again, that's because a mother's breast milk has nutrients and all that good stuff specially made for her baby that formula makers just can't replicate, as hard as they may try. And Margaret, you might be surprised to learn that because breastfed babies don't get sick as often as formula-fed babies, they don't require as many doctor's visits, have fewer prescriptions, and don't spend as much time in the hospital. As a result, the country's medical bills are much lower. So Grace, if your daughter decides to breastfeed, which she should, she's not just doing something great for herself and her baby, but she's helping our country too.
So she can be a patriotic mom. That's great. But Danielle, let me ask you, what does this mean for employers? I know we have a lot of working moms out there, so what does this mean for them and their bosses?
Breastfeeding, believe it or not, is great for them too, and for many of the same reasons. Let's say I'm an employer. I would much rather an employee breastfeed than formula feed.
Why is that?
Well, again, because a breastfed baby doesn't get sick as often as a formula-fed baby, which means the breastfeeding mom won't have to take off as much time from work to go to the doctor, which means my business medical costs are lower and my employees get more work done. It's a win for everyone.
Well, we're almost out of time here on Margret Getty tonight. Danielle, we've thrown a lot of really great information to our viewers about breastfeeding. Is there anywhere they can go to get this information and maybe learn more?
Absolutely. A local WIC office is a great place to start. They have incredible resources like breastfeeding supplies, including breast pumps they'll loan out, and they'll even teach you how to use them. You can also meet a breastfeeding peer counselor like me, and we can help you with all of this and support you too. And you'll find some fridge notes about everything online as well.
Yeah, we'll get those posted online. And you brought enough fridge notes for everyone in the audience too, right?
I sure did.
So everyone in the studio audience will get some fridge notes. Danielle, any final thoughts?
Really, one last thing that I can't emphasize enough is how important learning about all of this is. And once you've learned about it all, breastfeeding seems like the absolute normal and natural thing to do. And that's because it is. Talk to your friends and family, get them on board, and talk to your healthcare professionals too. Breastfeeding is such a great journey and it's so rewarding. It's the best thing that you can do for your baby.
I'd like to thank Danielle Manning, a WIC breastfeeding peer counselor, for being our guest this evening. Also, thank you to Dave and Grace who called in. And most importantly, as always, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Margret Getty Tonight.
We hope you enjoyed the show and learned a lot about the great benefits of breastfeeding to you, your baby, your boss, your family. Breastfeeding is good for everyone. Now, get ready because games, videos, and more fun are all on the way.